Well, hello everyone. Welcome to Sums of Whole Numbers. As you can see today, we're going to be talking about sums, which is a very good key vocabulary word, meaning the answer to an addition problem. So we are going to be adding, and then we're talking about whole numbers. So again, that does not consist of any decimals. And I know we have been talking about decimals. Therefore, we're not going to focus on decimals. So let me keep saying the word decimal, even though we're not talking about them. We're talking about whole numbers. So again, remember that would just be any number. 156, 1,352. That's a 6, by the way. These are all whole numbers, right? So we're going to be talking about how do we add these whole numbers together. We're going to look at some different strategies to kind of help us. I think that that's going to be the biggest piece in this. So let's go ahead and just dive into that. So let's zoom over here. Let's start with a problem like 38 plus 11. So again, we're finding sums of this. So for some of us, yes, we could probably look at these and kind of think about what I know about them and how they're going. So one technique we're going to look into is just thinking about place value. So if I look into my ones, I could just think about how I would add my ones together. So if I have 8 ones plus 1 1, that's going to get me 9 ones. So I can put a 9 over here. And then if I focus on my tens, I have 1 10 plus 3 tens, which is really 30 plus 10, right? And that's 40, which means I have a 4 in my tens place, and that would be 49. So that's one quick strategy. That was really messy. So let's do another one. So let's say I have 56 plus 33. Okay. So again, I'm thinking about place value. So in this case, here's my ones place. So maybe I'll put a line over here to help me. And I'm going to focus on my ones. So we can see I have 6 ones plus 3 ones. So that would give me again 9 ones. If that was a coincidence, it's not always 9. And then if I move into my tens place, we will see I have 5 tens plus 3 tens. Maybe I'll do it like this. That probably didn't make much sense. 5 tens plus 3 tens, and that's 8 tens. So I have 89. Right? Okay. So let's take one a little bit further. What if I have like 153 times 400 times? I mean, plus, wow. Who hasn't had enough coffee? 153 plus 400. No, not that one. Sorry, got a little dramatic there. There, 415. Wow, that was a lot of work for one problem. So again, let's think about place value to place value. I'm just gonna think about my place values. The first thing I want to know is this is a 3-digit number. This is a 3-digit number. So chances are I will have a 3-digit answer, right? Understanding place value is so important on the little steps to make a big difference. So I'm gonna start in my ones place. I have 5 ones and 3 ones. So 5 plus 3 gets me 8. If I go to my tens place, I have 110 plus 5 tens. So 50 plus 10 is 60, or 6 in the tens place. This is why we understand value and place value in expanded form. Like this is why we practice this stuff. It all comes back to help us later. And then let's go to our hundreds place where I have 400 plus 100, which would be 500. And then that right there would give me my answer. Okay, so that is one way of doing this. We can also look at another strategy of thinking about how to model these in place value. So I'm going to use this exact same problem because it's on the screen. And let's think about that. So I love this. This is actually my favorite technique. I'm not going to lie about that. So I'm going to model my numbers first, and I'm going to build a place value chart. So I'm just going to take, I'm going to say ones and tens. Here, I'll write it out. I like to just write the letters, but it helps for this video for you to see what I'm meaning. So hundreds, right? So the ones, tens, and the hundreds. So I'm just going to model. So I'm going to start with what I see over here. And I have 3 ones. So I'm just going to go 1, 2, 3. Then I have 5 10s, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, and then I have 100. Now again, notice I'm just using base 10 value blocks to show this, like the ones are the little cubes, and then the 10s are the longs, and then we have what they call the flats, the big square, 10 by 10. Okay, so there's 153 modeled out in base 10 value blocks. I'm now going to model my second number, 415. So there's a 5 in the ones place, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. One more 10, and then 4 more hundreds, 3, 4. Now, once this is done, I'm just going to count what I have. So let's start again in the ones. You always want to do that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Now I'm going to count my 10s. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then I'm going to count my hundreds. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And you can see I got 568. So this is another really cool technique. In fact, let's kind of continue to practice that one real quick. So here I go again, having to make up a number. 309 plus 200, no, 2000. Yeah, I'm gonna mix it up. Watch out now. 2,590. Okay, great. So this is what we're gonna do. So again, I'm gonna use the base 10 modeling, because as I hinted at earlier, that is my favorite technique. So I'm gonna first build my place value chart. And again, I gotta make really good note of how many place values I have. And I notice over here, I have 4. So I'm gonna create 4. So I have my 1s, I have my 10s, I have my hundreds, and I have my thousands. Again, here's where you can see I start to do the letters to make sense of them. So in this case with addition, it doesn't really matter like what numbers I model first, to be honest. It does play a big role with subtraction, which we'll talk about in another video, but I'll just start over here. So I have 9 ones. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Note that when I model them, I do try to create some sort of arrays or groupings that make it easier to count. I just don't go here. Let's actually show like a non-example. One thing that I see a lot with students that can be very tough is you'll do this. Oh, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And then you're all confused and things are all over the place. So really take your time. Just like if you line up place values when we worked with like decimals and ordering values and things like that, right? Just 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay. My tens place has nothing, so I'm not going to put anything in the tens place, and my hundreds has 3. So 1, 2, 3. All right, now I'm going to model my second number. I'm going to change colors so you can see that. I know that's a luxury I have, one that you may not have when you're working with pencil, but that's okay. That's also why when I start, I kind of like to do an imaginary line and I do it underneath so you can see the 2 different numbers, and you'll see what I mean by that in a second. So 0, 1, so I'm not going to put anything in there. 9 10s, so 10, which is 90. So 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90. 5 10s, 1, 2, 3, or hundreds, sorry, 500s, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then 2000s. And for me with thousands, I just do circles. You can make your own models of what makes sense to you, honestly, just as long as you're keeping track of the amount of units that you're doing. Okay, so now that we've done all this, we're just going to count what we have, and we should have an answer to write up here. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I have 9 here as well. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. None up here, and 2. So I have 2,899. Okay, so this would be your addition with working with a base 10 model, or again, you could also do place value itself. Right, back to this one. Maybe I'll just do that on another screen. That would make sense. So again, you have that base 10 model, and then you also have this one where you can just go by place value. So in my ones place, I have a 6, and in my tens place, I have an 8. In my hundreds, I have a 5. Right, so all good. This like works very well for us. So I would really recommend you trying out these techniques and working with them. If you're super familiar with algorithm already and you feel comfortable with stacking by place value and just adding, you can do that as well. It's just I like to present these other ideas just in case we want to think about other ways we can show. And sometimes they ask us that, show us more than one way to add these numbers. And so it's always good to know different ways to do it. They all get you to the same answer. So as always, thank you. Keep asking questions. Remember, ask questions, ask questions. If you don't know, ask questions. Here's a great hint. If you don't know what's going on, ask questions. It's okay that you don't know. That's learning. It's totally acceptable. We would expect that you don't know because you're learning something new. So keep asking questions. Can I continue to make that point? I think it's made for now. We'll see you at the next video.